Hello.
Then. Now.
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
Forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, welcome to episode number 148 of the TEW9 Challenge Run. We're here for the first pay-per-view following WrestleMania, and it is Backlash, here in Philadelphia, I believe, yeah. And tonight, we have a pretty stacked show, you know, it came together rather quickly, but also rather nicely, if I do say so myself, including our WWE Championship match. Chad Gable, Cody Rhodes, and Jay White actually kick off the proceedings tonight, and our main event will be the six-man tag team match as the Nexus face off against the Church of Rollins, plus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill one-on-one, Okada versus Ludwig Kaiser, Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria, and a whole lot more. So yeah, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into... Oh, and I forgot that I've got to bury everything in the press conference here. Yes, we'll get to that. But yeah, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. We start on the pre-show. 79 rated tag match. Probably would score a lot better if like I ran this as an actual main show tag match on a Raw, because I'd give it more time, I'd like put more stuff into it. But yeah, it's a pre-show match. ZSJ and Pete Dunne, his new ally, facing off against Path of the Dragons, Humberto Carrillo and Zergis. Cesaro on the outside, of course. These are the two that have been specifically targeted by ZSJ in recent weeks, so they're the two in the match. Cesaro on the outside, but of course Cesaro is there, you know, in case they need him. But since they're the good, wholesome baby faces, they probably won't. That is until, of course, try not to act surprised here, but the numbers are evened out when Dudley Davis appears at ringside for cheering on Pete Dunne and ZSJ. He takes down Akira Tozawa, which leads to ZSJ, you know, picking up on the win over Zergis with some sort of complex like pin to pin the big dragon to the mat and score the win for Zack and Pete Dunne. 74 for Zergis, 74 for Humberto, 91 for Pete Dunne, 94 for ZSJ. Yeah. I want to get into the habit, right, of like singles guys not being able to beat tag guys in tag team matches, which is part of the reason why I made this Zergis and Humberto, because like Tozawa and Humberto were like an expert tag team, so they should be able to beat two singles guys teaming for the first time. But the Zergis and Humberto is also like the least experienced Path of the Dragon combo. But yeah, ZSJ has new allies in Pete Dunne and Dudley Davis, a trio, you know, like the new Tekkers, except there's not really a leader, and you know, they're just sort of a group of three British men that want to take over. And yeah, nice little win, Pete Dunne and Zack Sabre Jr. And there's Dudley, of course. He's on Raw. This is why he lost the speed belt, of course, to Hook so suddenly, because I needed to take the belt off him. But yeah, here he is. 79 rated opening video package going over some of our big matches tonight, including the six-man tag, the WWE Championship match, the Women's Championship match, and yeah. Those are the only three I've highlighted here, but obviously go over all of them. And we are going to kick the show off with the WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes makes his way out first, then Jay White, then Chad Gable. Triple threat action. Who will leave Philadelphia as the WWE Champion? 99 rated match. Let's fucking go. What a start to this championship run of Chad Gable, but will it end here tonight? Who knows? Yeah, goes 22 minutes 36. And there's a lot of Cody and Jay White in there, you know, because they've got their rivalry recently. Gable, of course, I imagine the actual start of the match is, you know, what the heel does a lot in triple threat matches, when the bell rings, Gable immediately like slides to the outside and it's like, come on, I'll let you two fight. And they do fight. Gable like slides in. He tries to big brain stuff every now and again. And yeah, Cody, of course, coming into this a little bit injured. because he was attacked by the Nexus 2 weeks ago, but he says the doctors insisted he could go through with it, and here he comes to try and become the WWE champion. And in the end, we've got Chad Gable. He nails like a double German suplex on both men. He goes for the pin on Jay White, he kicks out. He goes for the pin on Cody, he kicks out. And, he's getting frustrated. And Gable gets Cody Rhodes up. He goes for another German suplex, the Chaos Theory German suplex in the corner. Cody counters him round. Crossroads to Chad Gable. 1, 2, Jay White breaks it up. And then Jay White and Cody. Jay White gets a come on, Nightmare. Come on. You want to be the big hero, huh? Let's do it. Let's do it then. And then him and Jay White start exchanging strikes. He goes for the Blade Runner. Cody counters that. He nails the Crossroads. And then Chad Gable rushes in. He tosses Cody Rhodes to the side. He pins Jay White. And retains the WWE Championship. Chad Gable outsmarted 2 men yet again here tonight. And he leaves still WWE Champion in a 99 rated open. I probably should have main evented with this, but there's reasons I didn't. 95 for Gable, 95 for Cody, 91 for Jay White. What an opener for this show. And then get a quick recap of John Cena's promo on Raw, him announcing John Cena versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for In Your House Worlds Collide. And yeah, John Cena will be back on Raw in 3 on the 25th of May. So 3 weeks, yeah. Or 26th of May even, because this is a Saturday. And then I cut back, Cody Rhodes. He's frustrated, he's like angry at himself, and he's still hobbling and selling that injury. When Bobby Roode comes, he goes, Cody, how are you holding up? He goes, I'm fine, Bobby, I'm fine, It wasn't this injury's damn fault that I didn't win tonight. It's Chad Gable, he's good. Bobby Roode goes, I know he is. Listen. It's a hectic night tonight. I know you're going to want to stick around for the main event. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to get these guys under control. And if we are the ones who escalate things, then it's only going to get worse, Cody. So for me and for Monday Night Raw, please don't get involved in the main event tonight. Cody goes, it's fine, Bobby. I trust Seth. I trust Damien, Buddy. I don't know if I've got to get involved tonight. But I just know Obafemi could be watching. So I'll let Ace and Chris know. And Bobby goes, no. You let Ace and Chris know exactly what I just said. Okay? I want this place to thrive as much as anybody else. But again, if we escalate the fight with the Nexus, then they're going to fight back. Who knows how many more Shawn Michaels has got under his wing. And Cody sort of looks confused and goes, sounds to me like you're in on this, Bobby, and you don't want... He goes, I'm not. I'm trying to run a show here. I understand the frustrations. Just please, Cody, please. He goes, alright, fine, because I respect you. But once the match is over, I can do whatever the damn hell I want. 82. Nice little match. Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss. Mariah May and Anne-Marie Porter out there with Tiffany. Alexa coming out by herself. But then during the match, as Anne-Marie and Mariah begin becoming a nuisance, Thea Hale charges out from the back. She jumps onto the announce table. She leaps onto them both, takes them both out. She gets all fired up. And Alexa, she looks across at Thea. She sort of smiles. She's like, look at this little ball of energy. And then, in the end, though, it isn't enough. Because Tiffany Stratton does, get her knees up from a Twisted Bliss, nails the PME, and retains the Women's Intercontinental Championship. 82 for Tiffany, 78 for Alexa. So yeah, nice little match. And then after the match, Tiffany grabs a microphone. She goes, oh my god, would you look at that? See, Alexa swore up and down that she was the greatest and she was going to be the next Women's Intercontinental Champion, but I won it at WrestleMania, and now tonight, here at Backlash 1-on-1, I beat her again. I think this can only mean one thing, and we can all see what that one thing is. It's that this division officially runs on TV time, and that me being the Women's Intercontinental Champion makes me the greatest. not just the greatest now, the greatest forever. Because Alexa, you used to be great in an old generation, but now this generation, led by Tiffy Time, is thriving, which means I'm going to be the longest reigning, greatest women's Intercontinental Champion of all time, and there's nobody that can do this better than me. Charlotte Flair's music hits. The Queen and Ariana Grace haven't been seen since WrestleMania, but they're here tonight at Backlash. And Charlotte, she's got a big smile on her face. She, gets onto the apron and just gets into the ring, and she just gets in the face of Tiffany Stratton, just smiling in her face. Tiffany, starts pouting in her face like she wants to fight, but eventually her and Marie and Mariah do back away. And Charlotte just turns her head slowly round as she watches Tiffany leave. But yeah, Charlotte is here. She's on Monday Night Raw now, I guess. She's back on Raw. And yeah, let's see where she seems to got her eyes on. The Intercontinental Championship of all things. We then see Christian and the Patriarchy backstage. Lexus King in his ring gear, Dominic, with them. And then Christian, so as Lexus goes out, he puts his hand on Dominic and then stops Dominic going out. He goes, Dom, you know I love you dearly, right? Between me and you, you're my favorite son. And that's why I've got to do this with Lexus tonight. You see, you have been disappointing me. But I want you out there so that when we win, we can celebrate this as a family. You can celebrate Tag Team Championship glory with your true father. And we can get you focused on greater things, Dom. It's for your own good. Now please, go out there, because Daddy's going to show Fraxium who's boss. 84, we'll take that. Quick little match, because Christian can't go too long without getting gassed. So, not as long as I'd have hoped for a pay-per-view Tag Team Championship match. But hey, what can you do? We're telling stories here. And Fraxium do retain the championship. Dominic, he's at ringside. He tries to get involved on behalf of his father. He accidentally ends up hitting Christian. And then Fraxium hits the golden ratio, pins Christian Cage, and Fraxium retain the Tag Team Championships. 93 for Axiom, 85 for Nathan Fraser, 63 for Lexus King, and a 63 for Christian. So yeah, Fraxium carry job, what else is new? We've seen that time and time again IRL, so yeah, no difference here. But Fraxium do retain the championships. And Christian just, not anger, just disappointment. When your dad says, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. That's Christian right now with his son, Dominic Mysterio. We then see, Philadelphia, baby. There's Philadelphia celebrities in the front row, Insert Philadelphia Eagles players who I don't know because I'm English. Here, celebrities, they love wrestling. What we do. Let's put these all over the hype videos for our next pay-per-views because that's what really sells. Celebrities. We then get an IC title hype video, basically an Okada hype video, because this is his first announced pay-per-view as a WWE superstar. But we are going to go over Ludwig a little bit as well. Ludwig's collection, of course. He's looking to make it grow. Will he, or will the reign of the Rainmaker continue tonight? 95, let's go. I knew this was going to do really well. I was hoping maybe for a little bit better than this, but we'll take it. Okada and Ludwig goes a nice, respectable 21-55. And of course, Ludwig's time isn't now. It's coming as a goal, of course, but that time isn't now. Okada hits the Rainmaker on Ludwig Kaiser, pinning him to make defense number 3 of the Intercontinental Championship. 89 for Okada, 93 for Ludwig. I know it's funny because Okada's getting outscored by Ludwig Kaiser, but It's because his pop's not, where it needs to be in America right now, but it's going to get up quickly because obviously he's having bangers, has like insane star quality, and is the Intercontinental Champion. But yeah, Okada retains the championship against Ludwig. Gunther is there at ringside with Ludwig. After the match, Okada and Gunther have a stare down. Gunther just laughs in the face of Okada. He sort of just shoves him away. And then Okada, he looks like he's going to fight back, and then he just flips Gunther off and leaves the ring. Laughing at him. Begging the question, what? Why is Okada backing away? Well, not backing away. Because he's a babyface. I don't want to make it like he's backing away. But, sticking it to Gunther, I guess, is the better term. My job here is done. I don't need to fight you kind of shit. We then see a recap of the end of Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns getting taken out by the Nexus. And then, Kathy Kelly's with Paul Heyman. She goes, Paul, on Monday Night Raw, we saw a vicious attack at the hands of the Nexus on the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. And, we just saw that, but we're here to get an update on Roman Reigns' condition. And Paul Heyman goes, Kathy Kelly, Roman Reigns, your Tribal Chief, was the victim of a brutal assault at the hands of a bunch of young, hungry competitors by the name of the Nexus on Monday Night Raw. And in turn, Roman Reigns is going to be out of action for several months. Now, to get one over on the Tribal Chief like this takes some guts. I'll give it that. Bronson Steiner, a lot of the time, we see him. He's a tough guy. He's a great competitor. He took the fight to Cody Rhodes. He beat Cody Rhodes. He dominated Cody Rhodes. But he's not exactly smart. He's a big dumb jock. Meathead, Kathy. So I don't think he fought this one through. Because Roman Reigns will want revenge. And when Roman Reigns is ready for his revenge, then Bronson Steiner, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, Oba Femi, any other members of this crew that want to show themselves, because I know there's a rat bastard in this locker room who's letting them into arenas. Anyone else who wants to show themselves will learn who really runs Monday Night Raw. And then Ethan Page walks in, he's grinning. He goes, hey, I always love to, do things around here with a smile on my face, but I'm extra happy right now, Heyman, because even in my short period of time here, you've disrespected me. And now look what it's got your boy. It's got your boy in the hospital. Heyman, maybe you need to go looking for new clients, because, you're not going to see Roman Reigns around here for a while. But it's fine, Heyman. I'm free and clear if you want to take a real superstar to the top here in WWE. Maybe you'll think twice before disrespecting me next time. And he walks off. He goes, what's his problem, Kathy? He goes, I don't know. LA Knight, Logan Paul hype. Their rematch coming up next. Prime on a poll. If Logan Paul wins, LA Knight becomes Prime sponsored. But if LA Knight wins, he owns Prime Hydration. 85. Sure, this was the calm little filler match on the show, because it's got the funny stipulation on it. But LA Knight wins. Los Angeles Knight is the new owner of Prime Hydration. Logan Paul watches in horror as LA Knight pulls the contract down, his business going up in flames. And LA Knight now owns Prime. 87 for LA Knight, 83 for Logan Paul. I had to do Prime on a poll, and I was like, but what can I really have a feud be over a bottle of Prime? And then I was like, well, no. How about instead of putting Prime on a poll, we put Prime on a poll? So yes, this little angle, I've been enjoying this feud. I don't know if anyone else has, but, you know, like, because it happened IRL, like, when I booked in Logan Paul versus LA Knight for WrestleMania, I was like, it's going to be, how am I going to make this different from, you know, the real life Logan Paul and LA Knight rivalry that they did that was kind of mid. And then, yeah. This is the funny, I tried to, you know, sort of meme it up, but also, you know, these are main eventers, I guess. And put this twist on the angle where now Logan Paul has to fight to get his business back from LA Knight. We go to ads after that. We cut back. We see Logan Paul panicking. He's on the phone to his lawyers. He goes, listen, come on, guys. There must be some sort of loophole. You know, you're smart guys, right? There must be some sort of loophole in this contract. You know, I can't lose this. Not like this. Not after all this time. You know, all this effort me and JJ put into this thing. You know, I can't. How am I going to tell him that it's gone? That I lost it to some loudmouth thug. So Logan Paul already panicking, but yes. LA Knight's name is on the prime. Yeah. We then cut up to Kathy Kelly. And she catches up with Okada. She goes, Okada, earlier on tonight you successfully defended your Intercontinental Championship against Ludwig Kaiser. But then after the match, you and Gunther sort of got into a spat, you know. And obviously we're waiting to see, you know, your response to Gunther. And Okada says, I'm not scared of Gunther. I would love to wrestle Gunther and beat Gunther. But that's not going to be possible just yet. And then, you know, they're in the parking lot and Nick Aldis steps out of a car and he goes, there you are. Him and Okada shake hands. He goes, Kathy Kelly, glad to be here at this Raw branded pay-per-view event tonight. I see you've met the newest member of the SmackDown roster, the Intercontinental Champion, Kazuchika Okada. Bang. Big Kazu, you know, he had that little teaser run on SmackDown, and he's here. He's signed with SmackDown, which leaves Raw in a bit of a pickle because they don't have a mid-card champion right now. I wonder what could happen here. Hype video. Bianca and Jade, you know, they were going to go one-on-one at WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley got involved. But now here we are. The match, you know, when Jade came to WWE, this was the match everybody wanted to see. Jade and Bianca one-on-one. Let's get into it. Let's see who comes out on top. 87. It's Jade, so that's fine. Yeah, you know. The downside of doing this singles match here is that there really wasn't much tension. Bianca does retain the championship with a KOD in 14-17, 93 for Bianca, 78 for Jade. So yeah, Bianca Belair still the WWE Women's Champion. She wins the match against Jade Cargill. Malcolm Bivens, you know, frustrated on the outside, but, you know, what can you do? Bianca is that bitch. Then, you know, again, go to ads, the segue, come back. Bianca's walking through the hallway, you know, calming herself down after a match. She bumps into Bayley again. Bayley's like sarcastically clapping her. She goes, wow, great win, huh? Bianca goes, why are you getting up in my grill again? And I'm just saying, you know, coming up next, it's me against Lyra. You know, like Nexus girls. You know, you remember what happened last time, you know, me and the Nexus girls were in the ring and AJ got taken out and you ran away like a coward rather than fighting battles because you had your own special championship matches here to do. Well, they're done now. So, if I need help out there, surely the champ's got my back, right? Then he goes, Course I do. Eh, 82. That's not as good as I was hoping it would be. Bayley's got a gimmick that's getting stale. Okay, that can't have dinged it that much. Lack of psychology. Sure. Whatever. But it's Lyra and Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria does pick up the win. She cheats to beat Bayley with a foreign object in 14:45. 85 for Bayley, 87 for Lyra. So yeah, Bayley gives it her all, but in the end, just like AJ, she falls to the Nexus. Interestingly, though, Lyra goes this by herself, basically. Like, she does cheat to win in the end, but she basically wrestles this entire match by herself, because we want to prove that, she's not here by fluke. She is, good enough to be here. She beat Becky basically clean as well, so she could beat Bayley basically clean. She's not gonna get hurt by losing clean here. Well, I say clean, but no outside interference is what I mean by clean. After the match, that's when we see Cora and Roxy make their way out. And they celebrate with Lyra, and then, all three of them sort of like look down at Bayley in the ring. And Bayley is, slowly getting to her feet. And, Cora and Roxy look ready to jump Bayley and continue the assault on Bayley, when Lyra sort of just like puts her wing out and like prevents them. And she just sort of looks down at Bayley. Bayley looks up at her. Lyra just like gives her a nod and walks out. Bayley spared here tonight. For some reason. Who knows why, but Lyra has called for Bayley to not be slaughtered like the rest. Let's change Bayley's gimmick. Great. Sure. I definitely clicked next segment twice. Anyway, main event time. The Church of Rollins versus the Nexus. Basically, at WrestleMania, there was a 4v4 against the Antidote with Cody on the team. The Antidote have now dissolved into the Nexus, and the Church of Rollins have now got to step up once again to make the save here tonight. Can they do it? Although the Nexus once again reign supreme. 88. Sure, not as good as the WWE Championship match, obviously, but, for lore reasons, I wanted to main event with this. This is where we bring back the Nexus theme song. They've not been using music recently, and Lyra would have come out to her singles theme. But yeah, this is where we debut the next, or did I say debut, but bring back the Nexus theme. I imagine it would get a big pop because, it's a good song. And yeah, I said, there's not really much heat to the WWE Championship match, but yeah, the Nexus win. Seth Rollins doesn't take the pin this time, though. Buddy Murphy does. Bronson Steiner rips Buddy Murphy in half of a spear. 1, 2, 3. The Nexus win the main event of Backlash. 81 for Buddy Murphy, 86 for Damian Priest, 91 for Seth, 78 for Trick, 92 for Carmelo Hayes, 82 for Bronson Steiner. And after the match, the Nexus are celebrating again, and that's when we see Big Oba Femi come out of the crowd. And of course, the crowd is all... I've conditioned the crowd at this point, hopefully, to, know when we see Big Oba, trouble is afoot. And he gets into the ring, and he and the rest of the Nexus boys continue the assault on Seth and Priest and Buddy Murphy. They toss Buddy Murphy out of the ring. They toss Damian Priest out of the ring. They focus entirely on Seth. Bronson Steiner pulls the straps back up, pulls the straps back down. He's getting ready to spear Seth Rollins in half. And that's when Cody Rhodes' music hits. Him and ABC come rushing out from the back. And, he's got steel chairs. They thwack Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes with chairs. Oba Femi, he tries to get in, and then 3 men all wail steel chairs on him, and he still takes a lot of effort. But eventually they do send Oba packing outside the ring. Bronson Steiner goes to spear Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes kicks him in the face, hits the crossroads, and then Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams are the only 2 left in the ring. Cody Rhodes hands a chair to Seth Rollins, and him and Seth start swinging chairs on the back of Trick and Carmelo Hayes. They scurry out of the ring. Seth and Cody bump fists, standing tall, standing on one turnbuckle each, screaming at the Nexus as they retreat up the ramp. For the first time, really, they've been fought against. A hopeful ending to Backlash, as the Avengers have, at least temporarily, fought off the Nexus boys. 89-minute show. Sure, I'm as well as what you thought of the show. Do let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you on the other side for what will be a very eventful, hopefully, press conference. Because I've got to bury everything as per this. Yeah. Everything in next media scrum to be buried. I still haven't really settled on who that's going to be yet. But I've got a couple of options. 5 months is annoying because it's past SummerSlam, but I'll get to it. And then I still haven't decided on what celebrity that's going to be. But yes, media scrum time. Well, that's a very concerning first question, given the challenge that I got here. Your boss, Triple H, is clearly not impressed with your recent performance. How do you feel? Do you feel that you still have time to save your job, or is your WWE career on borrowed time? Well, the actual answer is I'm going to cheat and, you know, fix his opinion of me like I have about 600 times throughout the save. So I'm not going to get fired, but he won't fire me. He knows I'm the best booker around. Let's do that one. Oh, they liked that. Okay, well I thought I was burying. I thought that was a fucking arrogant thing to say, but they loved it. Oh, okay. Well, my bad. I thought I was picking the bad option, but were you making an effort to keep Hook on the roster? Yes, but I've got to say this. So if Hook leaves in the next few months, you now know why. Same with Tracy Sharrow. Same with Lord Bando. Stop asking me this about everybody. Okay, well, all they wanted to ask me about was contracts, so those people, if any of those people are gone in the next few months, remember this, but I did it. I did it. Yes, I'll see you next time for the fallout from Raw, and Raw will be building toward, well, In Your House, but then also Bad Blood, which is tri-branded. So yeah, see you then.